Time for a little sports and the law. They come together once again, and Steve Moskowitz, our sports and the law expert, is here to help us fix things out. Former NBA player Kermit Washington is being accused of fraud in dealing with a charity. They're saying he embezzled $500,000. I'm going to ask you about the charges. One, interfering with IRS laws. How bad is that?
That's real bad. That's obstruction. That can get him plenty of time in the pokey.
Conspiracy to commit fraud. Define what that means in general.
Cheating people, because what he did was he said, I've set up a charity to help children in Africa, and instead he just spent the money. And here we have a double deal because the lawyer that set him up, which was a former football player,
yes,
former lawyer, he got involved, and he was doing some illegal things, too. This is just terrible for sports guys.
Now, they're saying there's obstruction of justice in this. Is that any different than interfering with IRS law?
Yes, obstruction of justice is a more general term. The IRS were dealing with tax laws because he didn't report this on his tax return either.
So those are separate problems?
Yeah, because what happens is if he's looking at a lot of charges, which if they string out the sentences, they could be a lot of years, and he's high profile, and he's the kind of guy that the IRS might want to say, look, you did some bad things, pretend to be a charity.
Fourth one is aggravated identity theft. What's aggravated? What does that mean?
It means that it's more severe than the regular charge, because what he's done here is he pretended to be somebody else. He pretended to be this charity, and he pretended he was what's called a 501c3 organization that would let people deduct it on their taxes. It wasn't a real charity. So people would be going ahead taking a tax deduction, thinking it was a real charity, but it wasn't. So it'd be wrong on their returns because of him.
All right. I'm going to move to a second story. It's Deflategate. For some reason, we're still talking about Deflategate. Tom Brady and the NFLPA are trying to get Brady's suspension reheard. Why do they need it reheard? Haven't we heard enough through the courts?
Because he doesn't like the four-game suspension. And usually, what he's asking for is the full court to hear it. Mm-hmm. Usually the court doesn't do that, so he's fighting an uphill battle. However, remember the case where the judges split and the chief judge found for him. So here we have a maybe, and also he's saying, look, the commissioner exercised jurisdiction on something that he never had in the collective bargaining agreement. That's his argument.
All righty. They're moving me along, so I want to get to the Tony Gwynn family story. They filed a wrongful death suit against a tobacco company saying that they lured Gwynn towards smokeless tobacco, and he died of a cancer in the mouth. What do they need to prove? How do they prove this?
The best case to do that is do what the smoking tobacco did, saying, look, you knew this was harmful, but you came out here, you hooked these kids, you should have shared these reports saying how horrible it was for the health. That is where they have their best chance of collecting.
I have about 30 seconds left. Settlement or trial? Do you think this goes all the way to trial?
Most cases settle. If we go all the way to trial, we have a potential for a much bigger collection or getting thrown out because it was legal at the time, and they're going to say, oh, we didn't know, we didn't have those reports.
All right, there you have it. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Always great seeing Steve Moskowitz, our sports and the law expert, Sportsnet Central, coming up next. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Good night.